Hi, everybody. This is my first live video, so I'm gonna try to brief it. I know it's not coming out right, but to tell you about the XdreamCloud project that's been going tweeting around, and of course we have the it on Instagram, Facebook. Now it just started on MySpace. And I believe we did discuss it a little bit on LiveMe and a little bit on Snapchat because Snapchat and LiveMe is pretty private, not ways to get in there. So let's go ahead and discuss and let you guys know what is the difference between Extreme Cloud and Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all these social media sites out there. Okay, so what I've done in my class in high school and as a sophomore a long time ago, I was with a teacher named Mr. Anderson, as what we called him, but his real full name is Charles Anderson at RCC. He was amazed. We did not have internet at the time in Martin Luther King High School. Sorry, Mr. Anderson, I'm going to go ahead and kind of snitch on you a little bit. So that didn't stop me getting internet. I went to school. I was being tutored at home. My mom tutored me for the longest time before middle school and in middle school for IT technician stuff. Not knowing how good my knowledge was, my mom probably didn't know how good my knowledge was. I personally did not know how good my knowledge was. Went to high school in Arlington, totally not doing anything with computers at all. And then they transferred my case over to Martin Luther King High School in Riverside, California. I was not really interested, honestly, to join Martin Luther King. I had a lot of questions. Would the teachers be good with me? Will they listen to me? Will it be better for me? Because I was having a little bad experiences in Arlington with some PE teachers. So it had a lot of big gradual changes in my life of different twists, turns, like, is it going to be good? Is it not? I had the experience of bullies. I had experience of now I'm getting bad teachers in high school. Is it going to work out? Is it all going to be okay? What's going to go on? And so on and so forth. So it was really, really hard to understand if it was going to work out. For the longest time, my mom had to go for IPP meetings. She had to discuss seeing options of what I could do. While I was having being tempted and being messed with by the teachers, Mr. Nelson, one of the teachers, and then Mr. Sweeney, which Mr. Sweeney was my teacher for the rest of the year. Mr. Nelson, after my mom noticed that he was really going after me and bullying me, she set up an IPP meeting. When that happened, it was a very big discussion. Of course, I wasn't involved in it until the end, like all parents do, talking. I guess some kids call it behind the back. Some kids say it's helping them, just depending on what kid and individual they are and how they grew up. So I just started listening. I guess Mr. Anderson came over and he just did his lesson, and then he come to talk to me. He says, "Hey, what's going on?" So they didn't know where to place me at exactly because I did not follow the potential of what was needed and required, and they didn't have the right teachers for Martin Luther King at that time. So is what my mom has told me. So what happened is my mom didn't know where to place me. So then Mr. Anderson just barged in the door, see what's going on. From there, he said that he does know computers very well. He says, I wouldn't mind him having my in the class. So, okay, so we come the next day, I'm going to his class. They gave me a new slip for schedules and school classes and everything. Had Mr. Gordon that actually took me as well and took me in one of his classes. And then that was the special ed classes because I guess the math teacher wasn't very nice. It wasn't that I couldn't do it. It's just he wasn't very nice. I couldn't raise my hand and get the question answered. And it made it complicated to even learn over there. So, but now I've heard they have a lot of good teachers there. But at that time, it was just like they were rushing to try to find some teacher that could actually do the classes there, the courses at that year. But now I've heard that they have better teachers, better counselors, and everything, and better operation there. At the time that they opened, it was very hectic. Still things being built there. Of course, internet was down, nothing. So when I went to his class, Mr. Anderson told me you're gonna have to work with no internet. There's no internet. I was like, okay, how am I supposed to do this? So I just talked to him and said, I do see there is, and I started messing with the settings and stuff. Saw that there was an internet live wire that was detected on the computer, but it was totally restricted. So I told him, I said, I do see there is. And he says, yeah, he says, but nobody's been able to penetrate. Nobody can. So I said, what if I do it? Can I? He says, if you do it, then I'll give you school credits to do and everything. So I said, okay. So I spent the whole, like, I would say, I think it was just one class session trying to figure out. I think it took a little bit of the second class session because it was ultimate failure. Finally did it. And all I did is twist the little IP addresses and voila, internet live from the upper link main wire outside of the school. Just totally clicked in, gave me internet. I was probably the only computer there. That was the only computer in the whole entire computer lab that actually worked that whole year, almost that whole year, until they actually gradually turn on all the wires. So when that happened, he told me he's going to have me do this. When he let me do it, he was like, then he started giving me lessons, and soon enough, it was just all the lessons that he was teaching me was high school stuff, but wasn't enough to learn me nothing because it was I already knew all of it through tutorials at home when I had somebody come over to tutor me how to be into computer level and understanding. So it wasn't really working out. So then he went to go grab his college textbooks because he noticed that I wasn't at the level that he's supposed to be teaching. So when he got the college books, brought it to my desk, slammed on my desk, I'm like, jump, made me jump. And then I looked at it and he says, do you know this? He said, no. And he says, okay. So he says, I want you to study this, this, this. By the time I was done in King High School, then they moved me back to Arlington. I already knew as much knowledge as a college student would know as a graduate for about a little bit of the year. So when that happened, I pretty much knew. My teacher, Mr. Anderson, did discuss to my mom before I left. He knows a lot of computer skills. He says he even knows how to go into and hacking, but hacking in a good way, not in a bad way, where he knows how to get what he needs when he needs it in legal terms where it doesn't really affect anybody. He says, and I see that Ryan knows how to run a good security system, knows how to even use firewall, and he sometimes goes out of control in the firewall and locks his own self out. So I told him, so it was like a downfall, but on a good fall, but overall was great. Then I've been in regional center for about what? Let's see, 2002 to about, I would say, till this year, 2017. And I guess you could say until the end of 2016 because it was going chaos by the other couple months. So I guess we could just say 2016 of December. They Things were going hectic. So I moved here. I was here in Buffalo, New York from March to, I would say, in a hotel, and then started moving into an apartment, getting myself set up, as you can see, and it just still things setting up. But about May, because on April I was still trying to set up, trying to get our cybernet working. I would say about May was when I accidentally must have hit a setting on the Wix.com building engine that made our website for cyberbullying that was supposed to be for people on Facebook that been cyberbullied gradually turned into social media. People started signing up. People started looking at it. They said, "What did you do?" I had people that even kids I had to observe remotely to be sure that if they were going to work with us, to talk to people that have been cyberbullied in the right way, help them out because even kids would like to talk to kids. They can actually help them. So that's where I came in to do that. But I had to do it in observation that the American Red Cross said of making sure that there is somebody, an adult, at least online, to remotely see what they're doing. So we did that. It worked out great. But then after making the social media site and then seeing that Wix is limited on social media options, I decided to go ahead and search on the market for a social media website builder. We went from Mighty Networks off the App Store to then we went to Social Go, which was a total failure because somebody was bullying on there and did not work out as well of locking them out. So we then decided, I talked to a guy in China that was actually just joined me and was teaching me the ropes of being a social media marketer and executive. So when this happened, and plus I was still trying to get ready for college, which I still am of today. I will be apparently starting in Buffalo, somewhere, Buffalo, New York College in 2018 in the fall classes. But for now, I'm just sitting still, sitting in duck and relaxing. I have a counselor that actually told me to relax. She advised me to relax till the fall. She says that way you don't stress out as much. So I just been busy on the social media site. Since the social media site was already out, no way to go ahead and discontinue it or delay it because I've already, of course, done everything. Of course, she is now working on my finances to be sure that those will never be causing our site to go down or anything. The site was built, and I used to be at the American Red Cross. So when I built the site, I actually talked to Laura Green, which is a chairman at one of the Red Cross chapters, discussing about cyberbullying. Is there a way to stop it? She says, well, there's freedom of speech and liberty that goes into it. Constitution rights also plays a role, and lawyers do not actually go with it. So I finally built, when I built Cybernet, built a law that it's called a cyberbullying law, which is enforcing people to stop bullying. And if they are caught and the person commits suicide or whatever or harms themselves, it can be charged for any kind of battery of cyberbullying. So, which I call battering because it's like you're attacking them on social media, just like you're hitting on them in real life. So I went to that, then got that passed by, I'd say, a couple years after 2017's New Year. And then and that was, I believe I talked about it, spoke up about it at the end of November 2016. So then after that, I think it was February when they legally announced that they are making a cyberbullying law. But on over that, then after, of course, talking again, like we made the site by accident. The site was supposed to be, and from this day was supposed to be a cyberbully website. I wasn't supposed to build a social media site like you see today of XdreamCloud. Although that now XdreamCloud, I can actually build. I seen that this social media site that I have built, um, which is now, it came from Social Go. Then we built a new site it was called yoko.org. I liked it, but at the same time, it wouldn't let us use mobile devices to post YouTube videos. We had to go on the computer itself to do that. So I said, I don't want that. I said, we got a lot of people that use mobile devices. Asians, they don't use computers, they use mobile devices. We have people in other countries just use mobile devices to go on social media. And I told them that this is not going to work out. So finally, we went for another search level market called, and popping up was spruce.com. Once I went to spruce.com, started exploring, testing all measures, see what it does. Yes, it does not allow you to upload your videos, but you can upload your videos on YouTube and then share them right on the Spruce network, which I practically told people at the beginning when I accidentally made a social media site. iDream's Social Cloud was supposed to be just a practically a social media site for YouTubers. So that was point exactly. I remember that. So I just said, you know what? Spruce would just do it because all they had to do is share the link. All of a sudden, links on there. Underneath, you put the title, you put the description if you want, and then just submit it, or you can tag somebody in it if you want to on the other option too. So I was like, this actually works out pretty well. So I started building it. Saw a lot of good things. It did offer me, if I paid the site, that it would actually give us a music player, just like MySpace. So when I did it, I looked at it and I paid it. I said, let me see if they really did a music player. Soon enough, there was a music player right on the site. Here's the good thing about this web engine: it allows you to build your site the way you want it. It lets you build your social media site the way you want it. You can go to the profile apps and choose what you want on there. Like, oh, do I want the about section to show whatever I want? Okay, let's put it on there. If you don't want the about section, you don't want to show what it is, that's fine. As long as you enter the information, because when you enter the information, it shows on our module that you have entered the information successfully required. And you can just take it off the about section off your profile. Although that you take it off, we still see it on our security module that you have successfully filled it out the right way. It also tells us you did put a picture on your profile. It does tell us a lot. So with that being said, our security system on Spruce actually is at the extreme level. Like if and by how we did it, and then I connected the server on it, which I started on Yoko, but then transferred it over to the new site. When we did that, how I built the server, they just gave me a server, but the way I built it is totally off the wall stuff. Um, and on our introduction on the site of welcoming you there to the XdreamCloud, it does talk to you about that we were built by Apple advisors telling us how to run a security. Yes, it is true. They did tell us how to run a security system. They told me. So the security system is ran exactly like Apple, actually more better than the ideas that Apple has. I did explain to Apple that I have made it where it's not a firewall, it's called a fire barrier, because what it is the firewall is not a big wall. Instead, it is every user's in a bubble, and making it impossible for hackers to hack. I mean, they can hack the main site, of course. They can hack the main access code, but the access code always changes. So it's impossible to get into the access code because we're always changing it every day, multiple times, especially when we see, and our site will slow down when there's a hacker in the mainframe, which they only get to the login section. And the login section doesn't connect to the members. So practically the members' accounts are totally separate from the account. The account login thing is just there. It's just a pop-up box that says, it's annoying, and it just says login. After you log in, it's like you're opening a door and it zooms you in and you're in. As soon as you walk in, it's like a bubble just comes around you. After that, it's like a little gate. Let's just say the login is a gate. It has a gate. It won't let you in till you access the password. Once you're in a bubble, practically closed for anybody. So if a hacker comes in, like illegally comes into our login, our main access code, another door. Oh, I want to see if I can hack the member section. Door. Oh, I want to see if I can access this person's profile because he's pissing me off. I want to know what he's doing. Lock. Okay, I want to see what they're doing what the administration is doing. Lock. And then it's like, oh, I want to go and see if I can hack through their safety center email content. Lock. Every door, there's many doors in XdreamCloud. I can't even tell you how many access codes we have. It's impossible to penetrate. It will be, I mean, they can go through one door, like the login doors, but as far as I saw, hackers can only get to the login gate. But after that, there's no way it's impossible to get into anything. And that being said, even our business pages, we are even providing, like I have said on the Facebook, we're providing them their own server. This server module keeps businesses safer than Facebook. It makes it where everybody that has a business can put a page on there knowing that it's going to be secured, it's not going to be locking them out. And here's the best part about it. I have an automated system called ASS, Automatic Security System. Automated Security System. Okay, what's good about this system, it's not like Facebook. Not at all like Facebook. If it sees a hacking content or somebody, a hacker that's logged in legally, sends a content to hack somebody else's account, our ASS will detect the code, erase, wipe out. Now, it will show that he did post it, but the content is removed immediately. If it's a video, it won't display the video, it will show static. If it's or it will show just a blank box. If it's a picture, blank box. But it will be there. And when we get on there, we'll of course remove it. Our teams remove it. But our automated system go ahead and block it immediately. Scammers cannot take money from people on the site. People can't go ahead and hack people on our site. Pretty much you can't see other people's stuff because there's so many doors, and then our ASS automatically removes anything that has spyware or has somebody looking into that content. So it's practically without locking the person out. So there could be hackers on here. There could be people that like to hack. The problem is they can't hack as soon as they log in. And even if you do hack illegally, you can't get in through all the doors. The doors have access codes. It's access codes, and of course, you would have to get into somebody's email. Now, we do tell people, and this is the thing I want to advise people, if you get booted off while you're on the site, practically somebody's trying to tamper with you or something. So if you feel that you did have somebody that looked over while you were doing your login information, be sure to go ahead and go to the login and then hit forgot password. Once you hit forgot password, it will go ahead and already send you an email back. As soon as you type your email, say submit, sends it in. If you hit reset, it's going to just clear out the email, and then you're going to have to start over again. So be sure you just hit submit, because when you hit submit, it goes ahead and sends you an email. It will tell you it's sending an email to you. That way, nobody can get in. And as soon as you get that, click the link on it on your email, and then automatically it will ask you to enter a new email. It doesn't ask you to enter the old email. It asks you just to enter a new email. The same thing we did at if you go to your settings. You can change your email without putting the previous email. Email or vice versa, password. So it makes it where it's easier to go in. We do know that a lot of people are annoyed because they couldn't get in. And the good thing about it is because it's like that, we also made it where I made the security where it's impossible for any hacker to penetrate. So it makes it where only a person that can go into it is if our teams do, but we have authorization from the user. And we don't do that option because we usually probably will remote the computer that they have and see if we can help them there and let the people just do it, and we'll guide them and tell them what to do. But other than that, then we'll just, of course, end session. But what we really try to do is everything by email and give them steps to do it. If it does come that the person cannot really do it or something's going on, we will go ahead and do it the other way and just share screens or remote it, or vice versa. We will go and log into the account to find out what it is. Now for bullying, fire mail, we have taken care of that too. Fire mail is not allowed at our website. And if somebody reports it to our safety center form, tells us, oh, there's somebody harassing me on my messenger. Okay, we'll go ahead and say and email back. We are going to get back to us. We'll say, get back to us so we can go ahead and work and access what it is. Or if we see them not online, we will go and check it and investigate what was said. And depending on if it's also the party that just reported it and that other person, we will go ahead and give them warnings on each one, pretty much investigating everything to see who's right, who's wrong. Many times there could be both at fault. Sometimes it's just one at fault. Meaning it could be a whole bunch of party people gathering on one person, and it could be all the party's fault, but not the person. So we will, of course, give warnings, suspensions, and then, of course, if it keeps going on, we give terminations. I mean, it's right on our site. Our safety center tells us, on our safety center, it tells you how many protocols we have for each situation. Pornography is not allowed. Most of the content that is porn usually is a hacker trying to get into somebody's account. So that being said, but because our automated system is our ASS system, it's made to go ahead and scan that. It makes it where hackers that send that kind of content, it will be removed if it is. And we, the safety team, remove it if it's not in an adult group. So if it's not in an adult group and it doesn't say 18 and older, we would ban it immediately and give you a warning about it. I'm not sure if it's a warning or suspension. I don't know. It's something like that. I think it's suspension immediately. So, but we will email you that you're suspended on it. And then if it happens again, we terminate you. Many of like bullying and trolling, we do give you a warning. I think we give you suspension and we give you termination for the person that has been bullied. And if they start bullying on top of somebody else, they give a little bit leniency on the policy terms on that. But if you, because of, I have took education that even a person that has been bullied will bully somebody else. So you have to guide them in the right way. So we do give a little bit leniency on the warnings, like probably I think it's 3 warnings or something like that. So we do give them warnings, but if they keep prevailing, then we do, of course, we'll be closing their accounts. But for the bully, they will be more stricter, 1 warning, 1 suspension, and then it's going to be a termination immediately. For people with suicide prevention and anything, we do have a community helpline that helps with that. And that is off the record. If you say you're going to commit suicide or whatever, it's off the record. But mostly we watch, our safety team does watch that, just to be sure that nobody on there is encouraging harm or bullying somebody while they're on site. That site is only for non-emergencies, and in the emergency one is suicide prevention. Suicide prevention, those social workers will talk to, that's called like 911. The one that community helpline is pretty much like a regular phone number to your police department, non-emergency, like City Hall or something, or 311 or whatever number you guys use for non-emergencies, and depending on what city you're in of how they do that. That is what that's for. But the community helpline was just there just to make people feel that they don't have to call the authorities immediately. They can probably deal with it without calling the authorities and talk about it as a community group, as what that's for. So it's because I seen that request by many people talking about that on Facebook, and I decided, you know, that could be a good feature. I talked to suicide prevention. They also thought it was a great idea and a great feature. So I've totally forwarded it and start doing it. It also keeps the lines open in suicide prevention, so they don't get as many calls as they usually get. So it's not like the lines are going to be filled up and they have to be on alert. Um, I think that most things can be resolved with the community, like parents or anybody that can help on XdreamCloud and talk to them how important their life is. Now, if it escalates, of course, we do ask only people physically that are with them every day to only contact suicide prevention. We don't want anonymous people, and if there's anonymous people, it's an automatic termination, because I do not allow members to just go ahead and attack these individuals or send false reports when nothing's going on. And then it makes the person feel like the authorities are coming to her house to go put her in the hospital, and then she feels like killing herself now because she's panicking or he's panicking. So we made it, that's why the community helpline's there. So you just talk to the individual and do not threaten them with the suicide prevention, because that is considered bullying, and I will remove it. Our team will remove it, and so on and so forth. And then there will be, of course, a policy made on you, whoever did it. So we want you to just encourage people when you go to community helpline. If somebody's having a problem, they ask for your help, just talk to them. Don't threaten them, talk to them. Tell them how great their life is and stuff. Don't ever try to threaten them. Threatening them is not going to do it. Getting upset with them is not going to do it either. You got to just talk calmly and make your messages look as calm as possible, because we don't want people to get in trouble like they used to on Facebook. I mean, I've lost honestly, I could say I lost 1,000 friends on Facebook over the people just putting that suicide prevention link on their messenger, which I looked at that over the couple of friends that died from it and killed themselves. I looked at it and said, that's not a good feature. I have actually text and try to report this to Facebook. I don't think this is a good idea. And they totally ignore it and do not want to do that, making other ideas. So this is, for me, I've made it where everybody has an option, many options, and that's pretty much where, and then for people to make ideas, dreams they have, or want them to come alive, they can do that too. That's what we call the Cloud XI project. Cloud XI project is there to bring ideas together. And the ideas I talk about is not on the social media site. We're trying to bring businesses and school kids to bring their ideas and make them a payroll job, meaning they get paid for it. So to do that, I've created the Cloud XI project. Cloud XI project means that on our website that you can go ahead and post stuff that you want to create or ideas, and your ideas will be taken to us, and we will go ahead and work on that. Right now, my idea was to build a phone that actually could, in different countries that do not get service, they can use satellite service to go ahead and go on social media or call somebody or do anything. So it's like we're going to build a phone that probably just uses only satellite data, but at least it will allow people to make calls, go on the social media, do a lot of things. I'm still working on that, and China is too. I have a team in China that are working on it as well, I think a guy in Italy as well. So we're working on that project. And now for the videos, of course, they're going to be faster of buffering on a phone or any device, because we have it set up in a way where, like I said, every server, just because the server's there and it makes every security good, it also makes it fast, extremely fast, which pretty much, because it's all TB for each server, it makes it where anything that's posted, shared in different categories has a different server, which makes it a bigger, faster module, and it makes our module run very fast. I don't know if you the people that signed up, if you've seen how fast we are from Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, I mean, we're pretty fast. And then for MySpace too, we're fast. The web pages, of course, we can do anything with the web pages as long as you pay us. We're still working on a price range. I gotta figure out what we're gonna do, but we'll figure that out too. And once the prices are, is when we're already ready and set up to go ahead and take charges. Um, for advertising, now the business pages will stay there forever. We are going to charge one price for that. But anytime you need us to work on it, we'll cause a maintenance fee. For the for when it comes to when it comes to the other sites, as you can see, um, it may cause other sites and stuff that we do here. On every module, there's always a different server. I mean, I made it fantastic. We have run many tests of security, and it shows about as, I think it was a C, like Facebook, but when it said C, I think it meant under speed or something. I'm not sure because our security is fantastic. I've noticed that the percentage on it when it loads it, and I think the reason why it's at C right now is because of how much work we're doing to develop it right now. But I think overall, I think if we had to, it'd probably be almost barely to a B, is what I think it would in grade rating. Um, I do know that Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg's server is at a C. I'm not sure what that means exactly, why it's at a C. I would have to guess the security measures and probably the stuff all his team does there. I'm sure that ours will be a C too, because every time you develop something or program something, it kind of takes a while for the server to bounce and work. But once it works, it works. But it's going to be more fantastic. I mean, like I said, even an Android device or a Microsoft device on the XdreamCloud server, it's practically like it's Apple. It's not traceable, not trackable, nothing. Hackers can't get into you, nothing. That's why we made a rule of only one personal account, one school account. Is either one personal or school account. And of course, there's one business profile you can make. And of course, then you can make that business profile to make and gradually make your own pages of xCloud. And that will be another server, which will actually allow you to keep your page secured. Now, once it's on the pages, even though you have to log in to your personal account for the business, it the thing is your page, even if the person's not a member, can see your page through the pages section on our XdreamCloud, which makes it where it's like a place where they can see it. Now, the rest of the stuff you can't see, of course, the personal feeds, blah, blah, blah. You, of course, can't comment on it unless you log in, but you can see exactly the information, the feeds that go on to the person's business page and see exactly what they're doing, making your business grow. It makes people know. And then we can also put a form for you as well. So it's like your page, your business page, right on the site, and it has an email contact that we can install on you, where we'll put your email in there, and then all of a sudden you'll get email from your personal email for the site itself, and we'll go ahead and create the whole thing. And I'm guessing we might do like $20 or something. I'm not sure exactly for the web page. Now for advertisements, of course, it's going to be $1, and then probably going on and gradually, because I know that advertisements will actually accumulate. So and they'll build more money. So that's why we kind of pretty much put it down, because it's like a per day basis or per week basis or per month basis. And we're trying to gradually put the prices around some range. So it's going to make I think this social media site is actually more better than what we experience ever in social media. I mean, I use XdreamCloud more than I use my regular Facebook. I used to use a lot of Facebook, but now I'm gradually just going to XdreamCloud because all the stuff here are more secured. I feel more focused and comfortable that sharing stuff without knowing that somebody's going to hack me and my account's going to be locked up. So it actually makes it where because the how the ASS runs, it just removes the content that a hacker sends or tries to get in and making it where you're never locked out. You're never locked out. You just get the content removed and that's done deal. So it's a lot better. I would have to say, and I promised everybody we will not have random lockouts no more like we used to. The only random lockouts we will get is if you actually bully somebody or violate one of the terms and we give you a warning so many times and you just keep doing it, that's when you're going to get locked out. But other than that, the site isn't going to be like Facebook where you get random lockouts and you wonder what happened. And even if you are accused of bullying or hacking or anything, we will have to investigate it. We have teams, police officers, everybody, federal marshals, everything to investigate before we even go to the procedure of lockdown. We have to double, triple, and 4 and 5 checks. We have to be sure you really did a violation before we can actually go ahead and say to take you out. We will have to contact many boards around the world to investigate it more before we can actually say, okay, lock his account. I mean, every single time it comes to lock out, we usually contact other headquarters around the world to get their expertise before we even go to lock out. So it has to go through many boards before we lock you out. So it makes it where everybody sees before we lock your account. We can't lock your account just because the hell of it. We can't lock your account because somebody said something. We have to literally have a lot of team advisors of my XdreamCloud advisors, of colleagues, to go ahead and look at what has happened in this incident and investigate and look at different scenarios. We get different ideas, what could have happened, and go from there. And then from there, I make the idea. And usually by having that, it makes it where people stay on longer and most of it will not happen. So I think this is a better idea. I think it's going to work more. I think it's going to make people feel more comfortable being online. Now, for suspensions, it's always possible to get suspension. It's always possible to get a warning because the suspension and warnings will just tell you how many days you have, and then you can go back online. Then the warnings will tell you to stop it, knock it off, whatever you're doing, and we will go ahead and let you know. Then going ahead and just randomly, like Facebook, lock you out and you don't even know what the heck happened. So because I've experienced that. I was talking to a friend and said, hey, what's up? How's your day today? Oh, awesome. You going to the movies? Awesome. It's like all of a sudden then you see and you go back in and it's like, please identify yourself. And you're like, huh? So it's like a very stressful day every single time. And then you go and make a new profile and it says, please identify yourself. And it's like, what the hell? So it's like, so it gets to the point where that little lockout feature is just frustrating. So I even told Facebook that is a little frustrating feature that they shouldn't even have. Of course, they won't take it off, but when I built this site, I made sure that ours was taken off. The only thing I want the security system to do is, of course, as you see, and you'll see it if you sign up, if you're not a member yet, you send some malicious content, it's going to go ahead and remove it immediately. ASS is made to remove it immediately. It detects it and starts corrupting. I mean, the system will corrupt itself a little bit, like you're trying to get into the content and you're like, why can't I get it? All of a sudden it will show if you get out or whatever, or refresh your browser, it will show the content is gone. And then soon enough, you'll know ASS removed it. And then what we'll do is either if you don't remove it and delete it, we will go ahead, our safety team will go ahead and remove it for you. But at least you'll feel much more safe and secured. You don't have to worry about making multiple accounts now because now you know your account's safe. You don't have to worry about kids. You don't have to worry about your parents being on there because we're always watching to be sure everybody's safe. We have people around the world that are always on the module. So you feel secure. Even though you don't see the administrator one is online, doesn't mean that one of our teams are already online on the site watching it. I mean, any of our team members that have profiles with XdreamCloud, they are able to access the administration and see the activity log and see exactly what's going on. So it's not like all of us have to be on 24/7. I mean, we can be off. I mean, we don't have to access the administration module. We just have many all over the site able to go in and look. And because of that, you can't even block the administrators. So it makes it where the administrators can also see everything. And even if you block them by unfriending them and then putting your profile in restriction, doesn't mean that we can't see. We can see everything. All we do is go to activity log. There it is. Voila. There it is. And then we see everything. But it makes it where people feel safe is the most important. Makes it where kids feel they don't have to rely on their parents to always go and say, oh, stop looking at my stuff. That's where they can feel that they can actually have a social media site that their parents won't have to go in and look at it no more. They know that they're safe. And if they have a problem, makes the kid feel appropriate to talk to their parents about it, or if the parent, or if not, they can go ahead and report it to the team, or vice versa. They can tell their parents, and then their parents will contact the team, say, my daughter's being harassed by somebody, or my son's being harassed by somebody. Can you take care of it? We'll go ahead and go look at it. And it's like, okay, done deal. And then we'll email them back and say, we did see the observation. We are going ahead and taking an investigation on it. And we are going ahead and looking at it. It makes it where the parents don't feel like they have a bigger job of going. They have to go to the store. They have to take their kid with them. They have to watch what they do on social media. It makes it where now the parents can go out. Maybe the father and the mom wants to go on a date. They have a babysitter there, but they don't want the babysitter, and they just want the babysitter to just hang out there while they're going out, and then they're worried about their kid. They don't have to worry about their kid now with the social media site because the safety team are always watching. And of course, my safety team, when they see something, they always contact me. They say, hey, can you look at this for me for 1 second? I'll go ahead and look at it, and it's just like, I'll go and say, okay, let's go ahead and remove it. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's warn them that they can't do this. It's like everything's like in state of mind. I mean, we do follow the constitutional rights, but I remember that a lot of lawyers said constitutional rights that, oh, you're violating my kids' social rights, my client's social rights, constitutional rights. Okay, what happened when they violated their constitutional rights? See, there's where the question comes. When a lawyer or anybody says, oh, you violated this individual's my client's constitutional rights. Well, also, your client also violated the other client's constitutional rights. So that being said, that is why I decided to say cyberbullying is not allowed on the site, because it may be that the other person is being accused is saying, oh, you're violating his constitutional rights. Good and dandy. But what happened when they did it before this was reported? There it is. So that's why I have told my team, always investigate. Make sure you investigate, see what both parties are saying, be sure and look at the timeline between each one to see what it says. So we do make sure that that we do hit the peace level barrier where we actually, and if we do see both are wrong, we will warn both of them. If we see one was at wrong, very wrong, then we will warn the other person if they did say something bad, say, hey, watch what you say on there, but we did remove the person or whatever. And we try to be as peaceful as possible with all individuals. So it makes it where people are having a fun time, but also having a safe time on here without hackers, security threats, anything, bugs, or a hacker going and getting away with something, or a bully getting away with something, trolling. I mean, we're trying to make it where it's more comfortable, making people feel they can be on the internet without worries of being attacked by somebody or said mean things about somebody or scammed by somebody. We have totally made it looks like it can't be possible, but if you are a good developer like I am and a genius and actually went to counseling consultations with counselors at the American Red Cross, CPS, talking to them on the phone, to APS, talking on the phone, and then, of course, suicide prevention. You can actually write down ideas and get ideas, especially if you're a web developer, how to program something that can be safe for those kids and for any individual that's been bullied, trolled, hacked, scammed, anything. And that is how I did it. I built it under the customer satisfaction reviews, which made it look a lot better. I got reviews from Verizon. I got reviews from AT&T. I got reviews from Apple. I've got reviews from many electronic stores of what customers think about Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and what we're looking at is cyberbullying. And I've looked at it and examined the facts, and that is how I built this site. And the one thing I did know that people have been asking on Facebook is they want MySpace music player back. So that's where it went. I've now made a music player profile with, of course, the feeds. We have the group feeds, of course, group posting, everything. We are going to probably make a role play option on our site. We just had to figure out how to do it, but it will soon be there. But I think you guys will really enjoy it. Parents, you will feel much more or less stressed out about your kids being on here because all of our safety teams are parents mostly or retired veterans or whatever, and they are watching it to be sure everything's good. We do have young colleagues that are also learning how to pursue it, and be better. I do watch and choose who I want to work with us. I don't really get to meet them, but I do get to talk to them on the phone. And if I do see they do not do what we're supposed to do when they're working with us, then I will talk to them personally. And I have already removed some staff that said they wanted to work with us. And then when I saw that they weren't really doing nothing, I did remove them when they were ignoring or not even contacting me or anything. I will go ahead and remove them. But we do, as much as we watch what members do here, we also watch our staff. If our staff is not really showing good customer satisfaction, we will go ahead and, of course, I will see everything that my staff say to other customers. So I am able to go ahead and investigate and go from there. It's not like nothing is hidden. Everything is shown to me, and I'm the only one that can see it. And there's no way of clearing it either. All activities are shown. There's no erase button, nothing. It just shows right there. And there's no way for anybody to hide what they did, which means members and staff talking to members or staff just talking to staff. We all see it. So that being said, I think this is going to be a better role, a better, safer role. I think it's going to make people feel much more better to themselves, feel better being safer, and making parents feel they don't have to watch their kids all the time. Oh, and also, I have programmed the website not to log in more than one device at a time on an account. This makes it where a user, if they're just kicked out all of a sudden, it might be somebody logged in or tried to log in, like maybe went behind your back and saw what you were doing, how you were typing the password or whatever, the email. Be sure when you see yourself randomly log out, that's why I say hit the forgot password immediately. Because what it's going to do is going to go ahead and reset your account. It makes it where the person can't access your account no more. Whoever shadowed you and looked at your email and stuff and password, you want to reset that immediately when you get kicked out, just in case, even if the person's not there and it was a glitch, still do it. So it just keeps you safe. But usually we don't come with those encounters at all here. Usually it just stays quiet because our access codes are always changing and security codes are changing. making you feel better and safer. So honestly, I've seen many people able to easily log in. Now they may have a, because our setup is different when you sign up and register and log in. It may take a while for you to understand, but for those that are not computer literate, but it is practically the same as Facebook, same as MySpace, Twitter, Instagram. I mean, you're just going ahead and setting things. And when you sign up, it will already give you the information you need to fill. Be sure to fill all that information out because it is required to keep your account open. And we do allow you 30 days to fill in that information. After the 30 days, we will see when you activated, and we will go ahead and delete you if you do not have all those forms filled in. Even if it's a little writing, that's fine. We just need something filled in, and each fill in is required. And then from there, you can go. Also, make sure you have a picture on your profile so we know it's you. Or at least if you don't want to put your picture of yourself on the profile, be sure you have one in your My Photos section. So at least we know it's you. And then you can put a different picture on there on your profile. Or you don't have to put a picture on the profile, but be sure that you have one on your My Photos section so we know it's you. Other than that, I think I pretty much gave you all what we need to talk about today. Anyway, I guess that's it. So if you get a chance, try to see it, browse it. If you know some friends are on it, ask them about it. They'll tell you about it. I'm sure they'll give you a great satisfaction. Of course, they'll probably say that there's not many members on there. Of course not until we get more members on it. But feel free to check it out. Sign up. We've been trying to get more members to sign up. So if you sign up, it would be great for us because it makes us look a little bit better, makes us